Yep, there she is. And here we are. Welcome to another episode, Splash Brothers Luncheon. We got our second installment of the Sopee Saturdays. Um, well, it's not even a segment, it's an episode. The people demanded it, and being a part of the people, we chose, however, to deliver. So, but yeah, man, fucking Sopee, how you doing? Episode 24.
I'm good,
Movie.
man. I'm
My
Oh
bad,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. I'm yeah, you're a part of the people and the the demand was there and we couldn't let them down. I didn't think it would be responsible for you to do that.
Yeah, I try to,
So,
you know, I try. That's what the people are saying that we're a part of the people. So, I don't want to let them down. And yeah, I had so much fun last episode, like, or the last time we did this. Like, honestly, it's probably one of my favorite. Like, I don't want to do numbers, but it's definitely up there as at least one of my favorite episodes. So yeah, we decided to take another trip down memory lane. Um, and this one is we're talking about Toy Story. Um, and
hell yeah.
disclaimer, we're only going to go up to Toy Story 3. Even though Toy Story 4 wasn't bad, like I think it came out in it was like 2018, 2019, I think. It wasn't bad, but it's just, I feel like they should have stopped. Like it stopped for me at 3. So that's where we're gonna end at. But yeah, man. It was funny just like going back through these, and my little girl, she loves Toy Story. So it's like it's kind of hard to because like so originally, okay, so real quick, just a little peek behind the curtain. Originally, me and Sophie, we were gonna like cram these 3 movies in like yesterday, so that way they'd be fresh and everything like that. I started on Friday, and then I was like, no, I just saw this. And then I went, it was this. I just like I had just seen 3 like less than a week ago, and she just watches the same stuff over. So it's like as soon as I was like, oh, I know everything. Okay, let me make a note. Went to 2. Like, yeah, we just watched this like 2 weeks ago. So, but yeah, everything is fresh. Um, and
Perfect.
so yeah, so yeah, I'll let you go first. Oh, actually, let me introduce each movie, and
Yeah.
then you can go. So just real quick, Toy Story, the first one came out in 1995, which was like right after my 5th birthday. Um, and look, man, 5 years old, that was a big birthday for me. I remember that's when I started school, first grade. Um, I looked up because I was like, I feel like so many things happened that year. And yeah, that was the OJ trial, started in January of 95. And we're not gonna talk too much OJ, but I'll just say I remember seeing the chase. Like even though I was 4 when it like everything blew up. But I remember because we were supposed to like go out to eat. And right as we were walking out the door, like the news was just on, and they were like, OJ Simpson, blah, blah, blah. And you see the white Bronco going. So we ended up like getting pizza or something like that. We just watched like for the rest of the night the fucking, because yeah, it was nuts. I thought Tupac died but it was 96. It was the next year. But yeah, man, big year for me, big year for the world. Um, and to top it all off, Toy Story was a smash. So yeah, let's turn it over to Sophie. What you got? What do you remember?
Man, I'm glad you brought that other stuff up because I wouldn't have thought of that. But yeah, there was OJ, there was the return of MJ coming back from
Right.
baseball.
Yeah, that's right. Same here.
Yeah, yeah, that was March of that year. The famous "I'm back"
Mm-hmm.
fax message. What else was that year? Let's see. So I'm a year older than you, so I would have been going into first grade because you said kindergarten, right?
No, for I was well, I so I started. It was at the end of the year, so I had just started first grade when this movie came out because it was like August of '95.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I barely like I should have probably went to kindergarten, but I was like my birthday was like right on the line, so they let me go to first grade. So
Oh, okay. So then we probably like school wise were the same year then. So
okay,
yeah, same thing. First grade. Trying to think. I obviously these are the times where like your probably your earliest memories started around this time, maybe a year or two earlier,
yeah,
depending on like every person. But I want to say like I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan too.
mm-hmm.
So I remember this was when let's see here what the fuck was he was going through like his relationship with Elvis Presley's daughter was like the
Yeah,
big thing in that time. But yeah, anyways, as it relates to Toy Story, one of my first big takeaways is how well Pixar holds up as animation
mm-hmm.
compared to any of the traditional Disney animation. Because so I watched one and two yesterday. I didn't get a chance to rewatch three, but I think I remember it pretty well. But rewatching this, I was like, damn, um, you could tell me that this came out yesterday, and I believe you.
Yeah, it
Everything,
still holds up. Yeah,
yeah. Granted, I watched it on. Do you have Disney Plus?
yeah,
Yeah. So it's kind of nice that everything's on there, and I'm
mm-hmm.
sure it's been remastered and whatever. But it looked crystal clear.
Yeah,
Um, and in terms of like the story and the humor itself, like it's got to be up there, right?
mm-hmm.
In terms of like upper
Yeah.
echelon Disney.
Yeah, bro. Animated movies, like I would challenge someone to, and I didn't do this, but make your top five, and maybe by the end of the episode we can come up with, but top five animated movies that don't include Toy Story. Like I know I couldn't do it.
No.
Yeah, and yeah, starting from the first one, this was '95. This is almost 30 years ago. This is 25 years ago. So
And this is their first Pixar, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So that must have been really weird for people at the time. Or not
Yeah.
weird, but it was a big thing for them to take this foray into this kind of animation, but obviously it's fucking like I'm sure the Pixar arm of Disney is
Mhm.
is the probably the most profitable one if I had to guess cuz it's like all hits with
Mhm.
Pixar. I can't
Yeah.
think of one where I was like, no, that movie was distinctly terrible. Like
Yeah.
Finding Nemo was another series.
Monsters
Uh,
Inc.
yeah,
Um, fucking, it wasn't a series, but Up
yeah.
was. I mean, and I saw that like as an adult. I'm like, yeah, I fucking love this movie. And I know we're leaving out a bunch, but isn't wait wasn't Lion King Pixar or
I
was
think that
that
was still the old school animation.
okay? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just remember, when it came out, not only did it look amazing, but it was it wasn't just for kids. Because I remember my dad, who was not a child at all, or even close. He was in his 40s at this time. I remember he loved the movie, and he's like, boomer, fucking Vietnam vet. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Grizzled old man at this point, and he loved the movie. And so it's just like that. Just shows you. Same thing with Finding Nemo. Like it just shows you like the quality, that Pixar was putting out, and it's still funny. Going back to it, yeah, a couple notes that I made. Um, well, yeah, just about the characters. Let me see. Where do I want to go for? Okay, Buzz. So Buzz, uh, we're not acknowledging Tim Allen. We're just talking about the character. We're
Yeah,
separating the art from the artist. But
sure.
yeah, I fucking Buzz was like the coolest thing, to me. He still is. I've missed last year. COVID messed it up. I was supposed to go as Buzz Lightyear for Halloween, and that messed it up. But
Oh man.
that's okay. It'll come
Was your
back.
daughter gonna go as a Toy Story character too?
I think she wanted to go as Woody. I think I don't
Yeah.
remember. Yeah, she changes. It probably would have been Frozen again. But yeah,
That's another one, by the way.
yeah, that's Pixar too, right? Was
Yeah,
it is Dream? So DreamWorks and Pixar is the same thing.
I
Is
think
that
so.
okay?
Someone's Disney Twitter is going to be on your head, but yeah, I think
Oh
you're right.
yeah, yeah. That's the minor. Pixar's the major. Yeah, but fucking yeah, Buzz and you like in Toy Story 2, it definitely like it's they kind of just hand it to you. But I remember it wasn't until I got older that my buddy and this I think this was around the time that I started getting into Star Wars. But he pointed out to me that like Buzz's story was like Anakin's, and like if you if you like when he's talking to Woody like explaining how that he's not a toy. He starts talking about like a galaxy far, far away and an evil emperor
Oh
that he's supposed to.
shit.
Yeah. And so it's like it's not. I mean, not Anakin. Luke. He's
Yep.
supposed to be Luke. So yeah, it's funny. It's yeah.
Yeah, so they were taking shots before
Yeah,
they eventually acquired them.
yeah, yeah. Straight
Damn,
up.
I didn't think of that. That's hilarious.
And Buzz, yeah, Buzz was that dude, man. Like, I kind of, you know, Woody, now for time for a little deep analysis. I mean, I understand kind of Woody's position a little bit. Like, you're a big man on the block, and it's just this not only this cool toy, but a toy who doesn't think that he's a toy, and he's coming in here, what I'm saying? He's styling in front of your woman, what I'm saying? He's, yeah, like I understand part of it, and but Buzz was whooping that ass. Woody didn't want it. Woody did not want it.
I'm trying to
That's
think
like,
what's like a sports analogy where because I'm trying to think, is that almost like not to make this a New England thing, but
yeah.
Tom Brady showing up on the block, um,
Okay.
and all of a sudden he's the shiny new toy, and like
Yeah,
the
and
old guy is like
yeah.
get the fuck out of here.
If you think about it, Drew Bledsoe kind of looks like Woody too.
He does,
So
he does probably similar law enforcement tendencies too.
yeah. Fucking yeah. Poor Drew Bledsoe. Poor Drew, because it happened to him twice.
Yeah,
Uh
and like the Brady one, involved him like getting the shit kicked out of him in that one
yeah.
play by Mo. I can't remember his
Yeah, the
name.
dude from the Jets,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Hey man, that was his career. You know what I'm saying? Like Drew Bledsoe, he, he wouldn't have made it today. Like, we should probably check on Drew Bledsoe because if anyone should have been in concussion protocol like weekly, I just remember Drew Bledsoe just getting rocked. That was like he had a strong ass arm, but he was always taking shots, like with the Patriots, with the Cowboys, with the Bills. Poor guy. I hope he's all right. I think he's like I heard he was like making wine and shit now, but
yeah, and I think he actually does pretty well with that. So
yeah.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah, he got paid. He earned it. That's yeah. Maybe that's one white man we can't talk about white privilege because he earned that. Like man. He got it out the mud, and by it I mean himself. Uh,
Hey, he does have one Super Bowl too. I kind of forget that
that's
he's
right.
actually on that team.
Dude, what do you think? I know we're not supposed to be talking about, anyways, but this is all around the same time, especially Toy Story 2. But fucking what do you think do you think he like he doesn't he can't show that ring off, right? Like it's kind of,
I imagine that got turned into like 20 grand or something by
yeah,
this point. Flipped it on eBay under like a different alias.
yeah.
Blue Dreadso 11. Anyone who's come in contact with that seller, I'm sure they got a ring out of it.
Yeah.
Because yeah, he I think he's from the Washington area, I want to say, and I'm pretty confident that's where he lives now. Anyway, so I don't know like what ties he keeps to New England, but when Terry Rozier was still on the Celtics, and he accidentally called Eric Bledsoe Drew Bledsoe a few years back during the playoffs. Drew
Accidentally.
Bledsoe kind of made a brief appearance in the New England sports scene again because Rozier showed up in a Drew Bledsoe jersey, and then Drew
Mhm.
Bledsoe like shouted him out on Instagram, and I think he sent him some wine. So he's at least doing well. So shout out to Drew Bledsoe, who wasn't expecting to hear his name on this episode.
Yeah. Like, not again. Yeah, leave me the fuck alone. Yeah,
Damn, I was already on episode 14. Jesus.
Let me just say, no disrespect. We do not want a Kwame Brown type situation. We're not dissing Drew Bledsoe. Just
No.
you know, he should have just been behind a better offensive line. Yeah. Anywho, but yeah, the last thing, fucking, and he'll come up again. I'm pretty sure you caught it. I don't know if you remember because you said you didn't get a chance to watch it, but he'll come back. He comes up again later in the series. But Sid, I think we need to talk about Sid real quick.
What a fucking menace.
He was a menace, but I mean, when as an adult looking back at these stories, I kind of, this is one reason why my little girl doesn't like watching. Sometimes she don't like watching movies with me because I'll just be, especially when her mom is there, like I'll just be breaking down, like, hey, wait a minute, that was pretty, But Sid, if you, I don't know if you remember his living situation. He had a mom who, was not disciplining him. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of loud. I mean, look at that dude's room. Look at what he was doing. Like he wasn't doing this away from the home. He's doing this in the backyard. He wasn't being monitored. His dad, I think, yeah, they tried to portray his dad as like basically a drunk who just sitting in front of the TV. So I mean, Sid, you know what I'm saying? Sid didn't have the easiest life. Plus, this 8-year-old, who's already being neglected, then these fucking toys come alive and are talking to him like, look, man, like I said, Sid pops up. We'll talk about him in once we get to Toy Story 3. But just for like Sid to be a contributing member of society, as we see that he became, like, shout out to you, Sid, because I mean, you had it rough. You had it rough. You had it rough, my boy. So, you're still a sicko, but I'm not putting it all on you. Because like as a kid, it was like, oh, Sid's a bad child, he's a problem child. But as an adult, like, nah, Sid just needed some guidance. He needed some discipline. And he did not need to be traumatized by fucking. I think, yeah, we're gonna talk about. I think Woody is like low key the villain in this series. Like, he's looked at as a good guy, but we'll get into it. We don't have to. Then the day is early. The day is early.
I didn't think this was going to turn into a defensive Sid episode.
It's not a defense. Man,
this guy grew up and stormed the Capitol, and Kane's talking about, look at his adolescence. your girl's trying to enjoy the movie, and Kane's talking about the duality of man over
here. Yeah, man. Fucking I got my Malcolm Gladwell glasses on today. He was just a football coach. Did we really
there's good people and bad people on each side.
Yeah. No, I don't know why I said yeah. No, but come on, man. Like, what was, what I'm saying? Like, because I kind of look at it, maybe it's because I relate it to myself. Because I know, like, as a kid, like, and it's kind of, I don't think that it's always best to like psychoanalyze yourself too much because you're gonna usually it's hard to be objective. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I will say is that at least how like I felt as a kid, and there's different reasons for that. Like if I used to feel like I needed discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like I was and I feel like kids need that. Like I'm not talking about putting your hands on them and stuff like that, but you need direction. You need you need someone watching you and kind of leading you in the right way, or because otherwise, like I remember the thoughts and stuff that I had as a kid, and the only thing that would stop me was just like thinking of the consequence of it, and then like looking back, it's like, oh man, like I could have been Sid, I could, it's possible. So, and I just know that you know what, it just I was about to say it was definitely a defining moment. Sid was not the same after those damn toys. It just reminded me, and this is not a kid's show, but there was something on Twitter, just real quick, that I forgot to bring up yesterday. There was something on Twitter where, let's just say it was a lady posted it, a mother, and let's just say she was talking about respecting her mate while and her son walked in, her 15-year-old son walked in and caught her in the act, and she was doing a particular loving type of respect, and so same way with Sid, the same way with that young man. I wish you the best. You know, you're not gonna be the same after an event like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you could become a better person, you could become a worse person, but you're not gonna be the same after something like that. And so I just,
Yeah, that's not a net neutral incident.
yeah.
It's plus or minus, but
yeah.
and you can tell too by the dog.
Yeah.
Like, that house was a fucking mess because that dog was nuts, going crazy, trying to bite everyone. Clearly not supervised. Clearly was just allowed to roam and do whatever the hell he wanted. So that house was dysfunction in that house.
You know what? Now that I think about it, Pixar, you need to make a Sid story. Let's talk about Sid. Because we talked about Andy, his little weird ass, which we'll get to later. But what about Sid, man? Andy, even though he was, I think, it was meant to imply that he was like he was just being raised by his mom and stuff like that. And he was like, it was like a new town or whatever. Okay, but what about Sid? It's not like Sid had it easy. I just want to see, let's see what Sid's house was like. Maybe we do a little short with that. You guys keep that one free. I'm all about the art.
Let's see the other side of the story.
Exactly. Let's talk to the kid. Let's talk to the toys at Sid's house. They're probably like smoking cigarettes and stuff. All right, so go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say with you bringing up Andy's like upbringing and whatever. I was trying to look at this from the adult side too.
Yeah.
Now watching it as a adult in my 30s, like I was looking for the adult humor, which there was some. But in terms of Andy's upbringing, the fact that he had a little sister, Molly, who was like, she was definitely I wouldn't say an infant, but a toddler. And no dad in his life. And I was like, interesting.
Damn, nigga, you left while she was pregnant? What the?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like, damn, Disney.
Yeah.
You could fool 5-year-old me, but 32-year-old me isn't gonna just let that slide.
Yeah, his mama was going through it.
Yeah, working 6 to 6.
Yeah.
All while doing like seemingly a pretty good job and making sure that Andy's toys were like taken care of and stitched up if they ever needed it. That was interesting. Like, where the fuck was the father figure?
Yeah, man.
And the thing that you said about the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it, there is like a weird. I don't know if I would call this a parallel, but definitely in the first Star Wars and the second one, Woody and Bo Peep are a thing. Like, she likes him.
Yeah.
But then doesn't it become a thing in the third one where it's Woody and Jane, and then all of a sudden Bo Peep likes Buzz?
No, that's no.
I get it wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, forget that theory.
They didn't go that deep. No, that's not. That would have been.
I could have sworn that Bo Peep just like switched sides at one point.
Nah, I mean, Bo Peep, she got it's kind of fucked up, but she got either thrown out or sold or something like that. That's by episode 3 that she's not there anymore. But then she comes back in 4. They like run into her. But yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't no dirty Mac in.
I could have sworn that in episode 2, Bo Peep kisses. Yeah, she definitely kisses Buzz at one point, and she's like, and tell
right, give this to Woody.
Yeah, give this to Woody. And Buzz is
Yeah.
like, I don't think this is gonna translate as well.
Yeah. Buzz was like, you got anything else you want me to know?
What else should I pass along? I want to
No,
make
but
sure we don't forget anything.
yeah, you and we can go ahead and jump to it, but you're getting it mixed up with Jessie, the cowgirl. Like her and Buzz become a thing, but it's never anything with her and Woody. Like it's like her and Woody are like brother sister, and then her and like Buzz has a crush on her. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
Bo Peep just disappears. So, but yeah, so Toy Story 2. Both of these movies came out like a couple days after my birthday. So Toy Story 2 came out right as I was turning 9. This is 1999. Um, yeah, I was supposed to do this for Toy Story. I mean, I feel like people listening already know like what it's about. But for those who's not, basically Toy Story 2, Woody and Buzz are friends now. And Woody gets accidentally took. Well, first he gets kind of rejected by, he's getting a little old to Andy. Andy puts him on the shelf, literally. So then he gets picked up by like this Big Al, this dude steals him and then is trying to sell him to like some museum where it's a lot of money. So Buzz and the rest of the toys come rescue him. And then they pick up some new friends, Jesse and Bullseye. And it's another story of adventure. Maybe we'll try to rank these two when we get done. It's tough. They're tough to rank because they're all great. But so I like I said, it was 1999. I was like in third, fourth grade. Um, of course, starting to get the hang of this life thing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I had been in school 3 years. Going strong. So I felt like I was coming into my own. I had a big birthday coming up the next year, 10. You know what I'm saying? Double digits. 3 years away from 13. You know what I'm saying? I just remember at this time like feeling even in so the way my elementary school was set up, it was a primary and elementary side. Primary was 1 through 3, and then primary and intermediate. And intermediate was fourth grade through sixth grade. It was like the school was split up. Like primary stayed on one side of the school, intermediate stayed on the other side. So third and fourth grade was that divider. So it was like, yo, we gotta, what I'm saying, get your shit together, boys. We're about to, we gotta we can't be doing that second grade shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Like we're about to get out of here,
Yeah.
So we gotta and I swear sometimes maybe it was just with football, but that's what it was. So my third grade, the class was half third grade, half fourth grade. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember, yeah, there was like a couple fourth graders. I used to play football. Like that was like my life at that age. And so, the boy had a little bit of talent to him. So some fourth graders had recruited me like, yo, you know what I'm saying? After lunch each day, play with us. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna earn my snaps. You know what I'm saying? I'll make sure. I was studying film the day before. I remember, yeah, we used to come up with plays. You know what I'm saying? So I was like studying, like, okay, I gotta do a chip block here, okay, and yeah. So remember, we had a Super Bowl one time against the other fourth grade class. You know what I'm saying? And of course, something light. I think it was 2 or 3 TDs. You know what I'm saying? The second half, coach put the backups in. We had, we weren't trying to embarrass them. We were just trying to win the game. Shut up. We did what we needed to do, and
Still had 400 all-purpose yards,
yeah,
even with the backups coming in.
we don't need to get into that. We don't need to get into that. We played a team game and we executed, and on to Seattle.
So you were feeling good basically in these days. Like
yeah, it was third
You're
grade
hitting your
wasn't a bad year. Yeah, I remember. I think what was third grade? I was 9. I'm trying to remember if what else was going on. I think my brother had just left because no, not yet. Not yet. But anyways, around yeah, we could real quick because I've been talking enough, but just
No, no.
around this time, because my brother got married super young. I think it was like 11 because I was 11, he was like 19. He got married at like 19. And so I just remember when he left, because when he got married, he moved across the country to Pennsylvania. We were still in California. And I just remember I was the baby, you know what I'm saying, of 7 kids. I was the youngest, and that was just my role. Once he left, I was when my dad left, all of a sudden they started expecting things out of me, like, oh, well, you're the only boy left in the house. So if something breaks, you gotta take the trash out, you gotta kill the spiders. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, what's this last year? You know what I'm saying? Y'all weren't expecting all of this.
Yeah,
And
fourth grade.
I'm like, what? So I was feeling the pressure. Yeah, that was like fifth grade. Yeah, I was like fifth. I'm like, man, so I had to step up. I had to start mowing the grass. It was some bullshit, basically. So this was the year. This is like my last, like, oh, I get to be a kid year, damn near. And yeah, so
I was just trying to think of like
fuck responsibilities.
they're like, hey, I know you just got home and you got to do some like basic arithmetic, but
Mhm.
you can't get a job. You can't pull your weight around here a little bit, Kane. Young Kane.
Exactly. I ain't saying why you ain't you over here watching Hey Arnold. Where's the classifieds? Pull the classifieds out. Why don't you have a paper route? Like, come on. I got a spelling test on Monday. Let me live.
Why haven't you invented Craigslist yet?
Yeah. Where is the internet? And I think the internet wasn't around. Uh, it was around this time. It was like
Yeah.
before 2000. That was a crazy, like, I remember our first computer, I think was around this time, like 98, 99.
Mhm.
And it was just like, I don't know, it was a crazy time. It was very innovative and crazy. Cell phones were like, yeah, 99 was crazy. Y2K.
Yep.
Um, yeah,
Jo-
shit.
Jordan had just retired for the second time. It was
Right.
the start of the Shaq and Kobe
Yes.
three-peat.
Yes.
Trying to
Yeah.
think like what was on TV at this time.
Hmm.
Um,
This is absolutely, I think Bernie Mac had just come out in 99. No, I think it was a couple years later. But I think we were watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We were watching Hey Arnold.
yeah.
We were watching probably Boy Meets World.
Mhm.
Um
Oh yeah,
Smart
TGIF was
Guy.
going strong in these days.
Who?
TGIF, the whole
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. TGIF.
Friday night lineup
TGIF.
and Snick too on Saturday nights.
Yeah. Yeah,
It was
man.
a good time,
Fucking
man.
yeah,
We
Legends
grew
of
up
the
in a
Hidden
good time.
Temple. Yeah, we did. We did. Like, I wouldn't want to go back, but a vacation, like that should be the next thing. They should invent, once they get time travel, once they figure that out, the next couple of years, we should be able to go on vacation to the past, if there's like like fucking, what's that show called? Where it's like an amusement park basically. Fuck. Like, everyone says it's great. I think it's over by now, but it's like, basically it's like a vacation. I think it was on HBO. People use it as a vacation, but it's like real people, but they're robots. uh who are the listeners know what I'm talking about, but anyways, we should
And
be
it's
able
a
to do that.
reality show or like game
Yeah.
show.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's a series. It's on like HBO.
Oh, Westworld. Sorry.
Westworld, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Westworld. Yeah, so they should make a Westworld, but for the past, somehow.
Hey,
Get
big
on it.
vacation is just like big pharma. Like
Yeah.
they they've got time travel. They just know that there's more money in not fixing it or not selling like the real solution to us.
Yeah. They said not yet. You guys are not ready yet. But
Nah.
that'd be dope. That could just go, even if it doesn't have to be you go back and you're a kid, but you just no, you're you get to go. Well, that's the other thing too. As a black person, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going back too far. So don't get it twisted, but I'll definitely go to the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Maybe.
Yeah, 90s wasn't a bad time. It would have been interesting to see like people getting stressed about Y2K again and just
Yeah.
like laughing at everyone. Like, no, there's literally nothing to worry about. The
Mhm.
clocks are gonna change over and everything will be the same. But yeah,
It was nuts.
my bad for sidetracking that.
Nah, you're good.
The biggest thing that I had from Toy Story 2 is just I just have here as a note that Disney is ruthless because
Mhm,
it had been 5 years, 4 or 5 years since the first movie,
mhm.
and you're probably as a kid pumped to go see this one, and within 5 minutes, they're like, "Yeah, by the way, the happy shit is already over because Woody is getting like basically cucked again because I think Andy had sort of like torn his arm off his shoulder.
Yeah.
That's why he put him on the shelf and
Yep.
decided not to bring him to camp or
Yeah.
whatever.
Cowboy camp, which well,
I don't
real
even know
quick,
what the
I
hell
don't
that means.
yeah, I don't mean to cut you off. Is summer camp still a thing? Like, do kids still go away for months at a time from their parents? I hope not, right?
I don't know. That's
I
a
mean,
really
I
good
know it wasn't
question.
last year and shit, but
Yeah, that's a really good question because like does that even have the same allure as it once did where
right.
like before, before cell phones and shit, um you didn't have anything to do while you were there. But now, like the age of kids getting smartphones and stuff
Hmm.
is getting younger and younger.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't really picture it.
Yeah.
I don't have any friends that have like kids that are that age, but
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah, kids. So just we had video games, but I guess the only thing is they weren't as fun, or we just weren't allowed to play them that much. Because you would think like, okay, as a 10-year-old, that's like prime. I'm just gonna wake up at. Well, I used to wake up early for some reason. If I was playing video games, I would get up early so I could play longer. But it's
Mhm.
like you would think the summer would just be prime. Oh, I'm gonna stay wake up late. My parents are at work. I'm gonna play video games all day. But now we still used to go outside. We still will go outside, ride bikes. Bikes used to be the shit. Fucking bastard. Like, yeah.
See, that was your lane that you didn't see when responsibilities were starting to pick up for you as a fifth grader. What
Yeah.
you should have saw coming was Twitch, and you should have just been the first one on there. But no, you had to be
Man.
watching movies and hanging out with your friends.
No, I wish I wanted to. Would be fucking Twitch. That would have been something. Nah, but you know what? Real quick, this is around the time because like around um I wasn't making well, I think we talked about it a little bit last time. Like as a kid, like trying to hustle to get like $20 to do little things. I just want to say real quick, shout out to EB Games. It used to be EB Games a couple blocks from the house, and they used to have this thing to where, and I used to pimp the shit out of this. You could if you bought a game, if it was a new game, okay, you had to um it had to be unopened, or if you returned it, then you would get like a percentage of whatever it would be. Let's say you paid $30 for a game, you maybe get $20 back. But if it was a used game, if you returned it within like 2 weeks, you would get your money back. So what I used to do, I used to play because I would go get a game, beat it with under that time limit, bring it back, get my $20 back, go get another game. Like, so it was crazy because it was like I probably only owned like two games. Like I had like Madden, of course, and maybe like a basketball game. But nah, I used to, and so at this age, you couldn't work. Like my parents didn't let me do a paper route. But what we used to do, we would like gather up cans and especially glass, and we would take it to the recycling. Gets like our parents would let us do that, and then keep that money. And so I was just flipping games. Like, yeah, I played flip. So yeah, and I don't know. I guess they got wise to it eventually. But nigga, like I remember because my parents would just be like, they're like, "What the fuck? Like, how are you getting these games?" blah blah. What are you doing? Like, are you stealing? Like I was like, I
Don't
was
worry
about to
about
get
it.
in trouble. I'm like, no, no, no. And I was showing, like, look at the receipt. It says you get full. So I was just like, every 2 weeks, I was just flipping, and then,
You're
yeah, I used to
finessing the
walk.
shit out of this
Yeah,
place.
pretty much, But and then I had a buddy. Yeah, like all my friends used to be older than me. It's probably like I get called old man now. I own it. It's okay. I've been getting called old man since I was like 17. But anyways, it's okay. Uh fucking no, but I had a buddy who worked there. And so yeah, he would like, oh, he would let me know, like, hey, this is on sale, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. we can make something happen. And then my other brother, uh that's the other thing too. That I think that's like when credit, like turn in credit started, because he would get games, and then once he got done playing with them, he was just like, he would give them to me, and I'm like, he didn't know that you could trade them in to get. That was a generation ahead of me. He wasn't tracking. He was just like, fuck it, I don't want this game anymore. And it would be um like fucking, you remember Game Boy Advance?
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
shit like that. Game So I would like trade in. I think that's how it started. That's how it started. We had all these old Game Boy and like Game Boy Advance games, and I traded them all in and got like $25 of store credit, and then that's when the flip began. I would just like, okay, what's this? This game's $10. This one's $7. Okay, I got 14 days, and yeah, so shout out EB Games.
That's
Where
just
the
another
hustle
great memory.
began.
Yeah, great memory that only our generation has.
Yeah,
Is just the whole video game rental thing. Video
yeah,
games and movies, like that was such
right.
a weekend night type thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, had a
Blockbuster
long
used to be
long
the
week at
shit,
school.
man. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's one thing. Like Netflix can't, like it's more convenient for sure. But look, man, getting picked up from school, and then we're like, your parents are like, hey, you've been good this week. We're gonna have pizza, and we're gonna go to Block. You get 2 movies. Go to Blockbuster. That used to be the shit, man. Like,
Big time.
yeah, you can't duplicate that. These streaming services, they can't. It's different.
Can you imagine telling kids of today's generation, like, yeah, there might be a game that you want to play, but it depends on the quantity of them at the fucking
Right,
rental store.
right.
Like,
Yeah, you got to get
yeah,
yeah,
you might want to play that, but there's only 3 copies in this fucking town, so
yeah,
you're gonna have to wait a little bit.
yeah. So like, do people don't wait in line? Do people still wait in long lines for shit now, or like, I mean, like, so like with Jordans, are people still standing in line for Jordan, or is it just it's all online, right? Or is it
I
do they only
I feel
release
like
some
people still
shit?
wait in line for like the raffle stuff, but I
Okay.
could be wrong.
Hmm.
But yeah, that may be, to your point, that may be like the one example where that still exists. Because otherwise, I can't think of another thing where you can't just do it from your computer
Yeah.
at your own convenience and then just go get it when you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just fucking order it and it comes to you. It's like,
Right.
man, it takes the
Yeah.
fun and the some of the memories out of it was just
Mm-hmm.
like doing it and what was leading up to getting to do that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Fucking yeah.
my
Yeah.
bad. Again, this is what
Yeah.
happens when you bring me on this show. I'm gonna sidetrack the shit out of it.
What were we talking about? Drew Bledsoe. His QBR in '97.
Oh, real quick,
Yeah.
this might be more of a Toy Story 1 thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza Planet,
Yeah.
that place is fucking cool.
Yeah, for sure. That would have been like the dream place to go. Yeah, on like a Friday night. Yeah.
Oh my god,
Bro, okay,
the
real so our see, this is what I'm saying. And I mean, and I'm not ashamed. I don't talk to kids. You know what I'm saying? Like my girl, she's 4, but I don't talk to like 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds. You know what I'm saying?
you don't try to stay
Uh,
up on the scene, see what
yeah,
they.
like, because I know like the last year obviously has been different, but like, are arcades still a thing? Do kids still go to, or is everyone just playing video games? Because like arcades used to be the shit, man.
Big
Like
time.
fucking shout out Adventure Landing in Raleigh, North Carolina. I don't know if that's still a thing, but man, And that was like this was like 13, 14. That's when we had moved to North Carolina. But yeah, man, fucking arcades. I never really went to Chuck E. Cheese like that, but there was like other little like arcade spots. Putt putt golf. They used to have go-karts. Yeah, that's yeah.
Again, shit that we grew up with that I
Yeah.
really don't think that kids these days really would care for.
Yeah.
We have a Chuck E. Cheese that's actually not too far from here that I have a couple really young siblings.
Mhm.
Like my brother's 9, my sister's, I think she just turned 12, but like
Hmm.
up until the past year or two, like they fucking loved going to that place.
Okay.
Loved Chuck E. Cheese. So I was like, I'm glad that there's some semblance of
Yeah.
you guys get to enjoy some of the shit that I had fun with.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pizza Planet, yeah, the neon signs, you had the as soon as you walk in, like you hear the I think
Was it
as you
like
go through the gates, you hear like a space like
right?
suspension type thing.
Yep.
That place looked fucking sick.
Yeah.
All the games you could want. Um, plus, it was where we get introduced to the little green alien guys, which are some underrated
Farewell, my
characters in the
friend.
series.
I have been chosen.
The new portal.
The claw.
Yeah, dude, those characters are great. Those guys are great. A little that's what we call sheeple in these days.
Yeah.
But but no, that place looks so cool. And I think
yeah.
the logo and like the signage outside of Pizza Planet,
Mhm.
very cool.
The
So
fucking
yeah,
laser tag.
just want to shout them out.
Yeah, laser tag used to be the shit. I remember, yeah, getting dropped off at Adventure Landing at like 14, and you could like, I think it was like for $20, you could for 4 hours you could do whatever the fuck you wanted. So like, whenever I was at my boy's house, shout out Chris, C Lina, every time we would like hang out at his house, his dad would just drop us off. We were just yeah, that was a shit, man. Those were some good days. Fucking, I remember, yeah, fucking coming up with a plan with your friends before it starts, and then as soon as it starts, everyone does their own fucking like, okay, you're gonna go this way. Okay, you see him, we're gonna target him, and it's like, nope, we just, we probably ended up shooting each other more than anything. And then fucking go karts. I remember, and yeah, this just rest in peace, my older brother. He passed away last year. But so
Salute, rest in peace, bro.
thank you. Yeah, just real quick, just real quick. And it's like fucking when he passed away, I wasn't sad because like he'd been sick for a minute. And I was just happy that for one, he didn't have to suffer anymore. But then also like all the memories that I have of him are positive. Like he's 13 years older than me, but he was developmentally disabled. So like he was after like age 9 or 10, he kind of became, it was more like he was my little brother, but it was still that was my dude. And so, we were always anywhere I would go, damn near he was with me. So I just remember fucking, but he was high functioning, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, we he was a sick guy. Because I just remember us going on go-karts at Adventure Landing. And so he was in his own cart, I was in my own cart, and just remember the dude, like I'm like, this is not a video game, okay? Do not play like how we play at home. So, but of course, this nigga like drove someone off the like he fucking spun somebody out or whatever. And he's like fucking dying laughing. I'm like, you bro.
Yeah, you can't be throwing banana peels out here, bro. The fuck? Where'd those even come from?
Like, come on, man. He was fucking dying. Like, I remember they stopped it, like, because the lady was like, "What the hell?" And we didn't get in trouble or anything, but they were just like, "Okay, so let's like he because it was bumper cars, and it was
Yeah.
like, but it was like you didn't. It was like he had a vendetta against you.
Yeah, your brother was like, and the lady said go, and I took that personal.
Oh my, yeah. It's like, yeah, sick man. So
Man,
yeah,
bumper cars is another great thing, though.
yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like when we do whenever we do the CPF meetup, let's go somewhere fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna have fun regardless. But let's like, I want some go-karts or something like mixed in.
That's a good idea. I love to run Tyler off the track.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. I mean, and if we play basketball, you know what I'm saying? That nigga better not be in the paint when I'm going up, because
Oh,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm setting the
crossing
hardest
them out of
screens
his
on him.
shoes. Like, yeah, man, it's gonna be like game 7. Whatever fun event, like when we're eating, when we're drinking, we're having fun. But if we're doing something competitive, like, yeah, all those tweets just gonna that torment me, it's
Yeah.
gonna come running at the same time.
Yeah. Say it to my face that she's going to text me back.
It's funny, like all the pictures are just like, either Tyler got crossed up, or, oh look, we ran Tyler, oh look, we pushed Tyler in the pool. Like, wait a minute, I thought you.
We cut to him, and all of a sudden he's hitchhiking on the highway.
Like what kind
Oh,
of
man.
yeah, he has weird fans, like what other fan base do you know just roast there? The Beehive don't be doing this.
Yeah, the Beehive would want to bring her in on like
Yeah.
like raised up on a throne or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking
Tyler would be lucky to be invited to like the last half of the party.
yeah, like, hey, what the Tyler's here, but no, but okay, real quick, and then we gotta, because I know you gotta cut soon, and we just have to finish up. But just real quick, on the last fireside, were you there? Were you there for the fireside? If not,
I'm
you need
trying-
to watch it. Just because we played Among Us, and I want to rewatch it too. And I just remember, like, once again, Tyler was like the first person killed. Like they just got him up. He played twice. Like, fuck this, I'm not.
Was there audio to it?
Yeah, there was. Like he, you know what? Yeah, he was. You'll see it from his perspective at least.
Yeah.
Or, I should have recorded it, but it was like a last minute thing. But yeah,
And this was in the last weekend's fireside.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Next time you guys play, I'm in.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna be there tonight, right?
I should be. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's
All right,
hilarious.
Huh?
You guys immediately just fucking light him up.
Pretty much. So sorry, listeners who are not in the Discord for that. I just had to throw that in. But yeah, let's get back to the main story. Just one last note from Toy Story 2. Just we already talked about it in Vader Zurg or Emperor Zurg. Yeah, that was supposed to be Vader, and it kind of, it lays it bare in episode 2. So I just it's just funny.
How the fuck did I overlook that? Because he starts playing like catch with him at one point.
Yeah, and he does the whole I am your father.
Yeah.
Yeah, you killed my no.
Oh, earlier you were saying, who did you say Woody looked like earlier?
Drew Bledsoe.
Oh yeah. I actually wrote this down. I'm glad you brought up Drew Bledsoe. I think he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Woody?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel like, I can see that. I can see
like
that.
An older, skinny Jake Gyllenhaal.
Mm-hmm.
So just throwing that out there. If Jake Gyllenhaal
wants to do a live action, you know what? We'll get. You know who's gonna play Buzz? It'll probably be like Mark Wahlberg.
Oh God. Yeah, I won't watch it then.
The rated audience, like, yeah. But who was Buzz and when he wasn't around the toys? And it's like, yeah. Oh boy.
There, real quick, because I think that you'd appreciate this story. Mark Wahlberg, obviously, it gets swept under the rug that he growing up when he was on the New Kids on the Block, and he grew up in near Boston.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like people that look like me.
Oh
He
yeah.
really doesn't like people that look like me. Uh, he says he's probably reformed these days, but I don't fucking know. But apparently, I'm friends with a couple people on Instagram who live and work in Boston, and they go to some sort of like CrossFit gym, and
Mm-hmm.
he's been showing up there the last couple weeks. And so all these people are taking pictures with him, and he's like taking part in the class, and I think he kind of like led one of the classes. And part of me wants so badly to comment and be like, oh, good thing that there's no Southeast Asians in this class, or he would definitely give them the worst workout.
Yeah. I would if you're gonna say that, make sure you drop the Wikipedia link to his hate crime section.
Yes.
For anyone confused, for the uninitiated, yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah,
Anyways, shout out Mark Wahlberg.
yeah.
My bad. Anyways,
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah.
I'll let you take Toy Story 3 because
Okay.
I don't think I remember it that well now I think about it.
Yeah, I'll break it down. Fucking Toy Story 3 came out 2010. And basically the story with this, like Andy's grown up. He's like just graduated high school, about to go to college. And so they're trying to decide what to do with the toys. Like basically all the toys, like Woody is the only one that he's taken to college, and the other toys think they're getting put in the attic. And so fucking basically there's like some confusion, and the mom ends up, she almost throws the toys away, but Woody, well, they end up going to a daycare, and Woody's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We gotta go back, blah blah blah. They're like, nigga, go back to what? He gonna put us in the attic. So they want to stay, so they want to stay there. And so basically the daycare is run by this sociopathic bear. And so it's like he puts them in like the classroom with 2-year-olds where they're like beating the shit out of the toys. That's how they play with them. And so
Yeah, a
long
bunch of
story
SIDS
short,
in there.
pretty much, yeah. So then long story short, they get rescued. But it looks like, and we'll talk about that in a minute, because this like this is part of the childhoods die every year or every day series. And this is this is why I wanted to talk to you about it, like originally, just because that ending scene, I don't know if you remember it, but it's like they're at the dump, and it's like they're slowly going toward a ball of fire, and it looks like it's the end, and then they get rescued right at the very, actually no, not that scene. I mean, that's one part of the scene, but at the very end, which we'll get into, because I had an issue with the parents leaving Andy outside to play with their little 4-year-old, even though it's in the front yard. It's like this nigga is like doing dog noises and shit, playing with your, it's like you're weird. You're a weird 18-year-old, Andy. You need to take your ass to college, grow up. But yeah, he just basically the last scene is like Woody seeing Andy and drive away, and he's like, so long, partner, blah blah blah. And it was like he was waving to me. Like I was 19 at this time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, motherfucker, you gotta you got bills now. It's
Playtime is over.
Playtime is over. Yeah. So
you know
yeah.
what would have been funny? Not to make this nasty, but we'll make it nasty.
Yeah, here we go.
If Disney threw
at least once an episode, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we got to do it at least once an episode. But if Disney threw a PG-13 and you were like, an hour into the movie, and you're like, interesting, like I don't see anything that would be PG-13, and then you don't see Andy's face, but you see his hand pull up like a bottle of lotion, like a box of Kleenex.
Yeah.
Hey man, what the
That's not
fuck?
that's
Woody just traumatized?
Hey yo, so of course, did you ever watch Robot Chicken?
Very sparingly.
Okay, well, I'm gonna find the segment and send it to you. But basically, they do that, but it goes worse. Like he like has a girl over, and it's like she I think a condom gets thrown on Woody, and then like they take Buzz and because like they're about to smoke, and he's like, oh, I don't have. It's like, oh, I can use this. So he like uses Buzz as like a pipe. So then when they put so then when they put Buzz back on the shelf, like when he's done, he's like, because he's like fucked up now, because like he, like part of his brain is so it's like it goes too far. It absolutely so it takes what you just said, which was far enough, which I don't think would be PG-13. I think it would be a rated R. And they just turn it up. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you see they take a quick peek over at Sid's house and it's just needles instead of
Yeah.
toys.
Yeah, fucking. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so Sid, you said you weren't able to get to it, but if you're ever to watch it at the very beginning, when the toys are about to be thrown out, like a trash truck pulls up and the kid, like it's like a kid, he's like rocking the music or whatever, picking up the trash. That's Sid. Because like there's like some defining like mark on him or whatever. And so Sid, he's a trash man, which trash men, what I'm saying? Teachers used to say, oh, blah blah blah, you'll end up picking up. I think trash men make a significant more money, significant amount of money more than teachers. So, Sid is serving his community. You know what I'm saying? He's taking care of himself. He's not playing with fucking toys at 19 like Andy is.
Sid had to grow up quick.
Yeah, he had to. Like I said, he got his shit together. You know what I'm saying? He got himself a full-time job. You got to wake up early to take out the trash. So
arguably he's in a better place than Andy because he's more adjusted to like adult society.
I bet you he got more bitches than Andy for sure. He's doing more
100%.
respecting than Andy.
100%.
So
Andy's still playing with fucking Woody at That's another thing, naming him Woody. I don't know about that.
Come on, man. That's his name. But
he's playing with Woody for 4 movies. I don't know about that. Anyways,
Woody and Buzz.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. You know what? I know what the cover art's gonna be if I can find it. If I can find it, I gotta look for it. But it's like, yeah, you'll see.
Okay.
So yeah, man. I mean, do we need to talk about? I think we kind of talked about it a little bit last episode. I feel like we've rambled maybe enough, but just 2010 was a horrible year from what I remember for your boy for multiple reasons. But this was but there was some good things that I think this is Kobe's either 4th or 5th title.
Yeah, this is 5 against us.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Shout out to your Celtics jersey hanging behind you.
Fucking Ron Artest, man. Still not over that.
Yep. Yeah, he hit that big 3 Yep. Yeah, man. What else? I think, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I think it may have been 2011. But let's just say this is of course it was a tough time, but this is when I started being creative or like actually like doing stuff as far as like making music and writing and stuff like that. So, it seems like, that's what it takes. Like you gotta go through some bullshit. The next thing, hey, you know what? I got a lot to say. So
damn, I'm creative.
I'm fucking Childish Gambino. Wow.
I was gonna say this is also like when we're about to turn legal drinking age, or like
Right.
close to
Yep.
that stage. What the hell else was big in 2010? Like what was Breaking Bad? I think was kind of in the middle of that. I don't know if you
Yeah.
watched that, but um
Yeah. Well, I didn't watch it till later, but Obama
same.
was in office. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
His first term. Uh, I don't think Trayvon was until 2012.
Yeah, I want to say that was 12 or 13.
Yeah. Yeah. And then yeah, I feel like I'm trying to remember. I feel like, well, yeah, it was still shitty because we were coming out of a recession, like a horrible the housing market had just crashed. Yeah, that's what that's another thing that was going on around that time. So yeah, but we did have good art. A lot of, at least we had no, everyone was broke, but we had art at the time. This is when Mayweather started calling himself Money Mayweather. Fucking asshole. But yeah,
Oh, you know
man.
what? This is kind of the beginning of like the modern social media age.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Because I remember I hopped on Facebook my senior year of high school. Because
Hmm.
remember back in those days, you had to be invited by someone else who had it.
Right.
Usually, someone
Yeah.
in college, I remember at first was you couldn't get it unless you were in college. Then they
Hmm.
changed it, and so yeah, '06 was like my first Facebook, and then by '08, I think is when I got Twitter.
Right.
Um, Instagram, I know when I got this because it was when I got my first real job, which was
Hmm.
2011, 2012. So yeah,
Yeah,
this is kind of like the beginning of that time period. So
absolutely.
in a way that kind of signals our adult lives too,
Yeah, for sure.
because that's all that we know as you know, uh, since our late teen years, and it's
Hmm.
been that way for the past 15 years now.
Yep. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, like I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah, it's a good point. I think I got my first Facebook like '08 was like the year of all of that. I don't think I got on Twitter until I want to say 2010, maybe 2011. And then Instagram was around that time. Yeah, it was so, you know, there was no DMs. You had to get a separate um you had to get a separate app in order to DM, at least on Instagram. I don't remember what Twitter was
Oh
like. Yeah,
yeah.
it was different. It was a very different time. Like world was moving quick. Cause like I mean MySpace was a thing, but it wasn't like,
Yep.
it wasn't that big of a deal. But Facebook, like everything just blew up. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Um, yeah, it was a wild time. Wild
Were
time.
you were you sad at the end of the movie at all?
Uh a little, like not, you know, like I said, I just feel like it was perfect because it was like it signaled because the kids that grew up with this movie, they were about the same age as Andy,
Yep.
because it came out in 95. So yeah, you're 5 or 6 watching that movie when this comes out, like yeah, you're in college or you're college age. Um, but I just remember like, yeah, that was like, yeah, you know what? This is like bye. I thought they should have stopped there. Like I get, because they obviously made a lot of money making 4, but I thought they should have stopped at 3 because it was just like, yeah, like go do something else because this is like the perfect way to end it. But yeah.
Yeah. It's I was gonna say it was sad, but I also wonder, is Disney gonna be able to do this with whatever is like the Toy Story of this current generation? Like our
Hmm.
kids gonna feel the same way? Because I thought it was perfect that like at that time 2010 I was in college, and
Hmm.
I remember me and all my friends were like pumped to see it and hear that this was coming out.
Hmm.
So that was cool to like have an entire generation of people still at this age
Yeah.
be pumped to go see a kids movie.
Yep.
I kind of wonder if there's any sort of equivalent, or what would be the closest equivalent to
Hmm.
any of the current movies. Like, so I haven't seen Frozen.
Hmm.
And is that like a multiple thing, or is there only
Yeah.
one?
There's 2 of them. I know for sure there's two. I don't know if they're planning on making another one. But yeah, even with Frozen, I think, well, it's just I think it's different because I think Andy was, Andy was this. There was someone in the movie who was the same age as the kids watching it, and I don't.
Yeah,
And like, I think Frozen, they're supposed to be like teenagers, so it's like you're not gonna grow up with them
right.
like here. But yeah, I don't know. There probably is something. But like I said, I just feel like there's so much now because it's like you have so much stuff to watch, to where it'll be harder to like be attached to to this like because I mean there was other movies, but Toy Story was like its own kind of. There was like maybe when I say more movies, there was like three or four. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like how it is now. So, but that's a good question. That's a good question. I wonder what it would be.
Like I hope that they get something like that, but I also don't know if like the next generation even
Once it,
would care enough to want it.
yeah.
They'd have to have a movie good enough to have it in the first place, and
Mhm.
they fucking knocked it out of the park with the first Toy Story.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's just because there's so much to watch now
Yeah,
where it's like, okay, well, when this ends, okay, well, now I'm watching this. Okay, well, this ends now, but it's like it was an event because we had to wait years, you know, and so yeah.
I should ask you this. Did you just because like you and I couldn't be further apart in terms of I'm New Hampshire and you're in Cali.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did you guys lose a lot of movie theaters? Like, did a lot of movie theaters go under
You talking
during the
about during this
pandemic?
time? Oh, the
Yeah.
pandemic?
Mhm.
Oh, I'm not sure about movie. I know a lot of comedy clubs closed. And I'm not sure about movies. I haven't looked for that because I'm not ready for a movie theater yet. But yeah, I know a bunch of comedy clubs, like it says, permanently closed.
Damn.
So
Those things obviously it's understandable, but it's still like sad and it
yeah.
sucks. Like we have a chain called Cinemagic, which I live right near one of the locations. Like I could walk there.
Mm-hmm.
It it closed back in February, and obviously everything kind in New Hampshire, everything opened up almost fully because we are one of like the highest vaccinated states in the country, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But everything opened back up in May, and it's like, damn, if you guys had somehow made it another 90 days, like you'd still
Yeah.
be around.
Yeah.
But I actually went to go see a movie a couple weeks ago, which was interesting.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I was just curious because like movie theaters themselves, who knows,
Yeah.
like how long that as an industry will last.
Yeah. Like, and I mean, I feel like I'm not the right person to because I was only going to movie theater. Well, it depends. It depends. I feel like you go to more movies when you're single than sort of. Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I guess it just depends because I feel like I only went to the movie theater. Well, I guess I don't know, 5 times a year. I don't know. You know what? Let me think about that. I'm just because originally I was like, I only went to the movie theater because there's only ever but so many movies each year that I'm like really want to see. Like I usually I'll be like, oh, okay, well I'll wait. I'll just wait for it to come out because they come out. They'll be on fucking Disney Plus or whatever super quick, or they'll before that it was HBO or whatever. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Like, will it come? Because I mean, I do miss so. For instance, Endgame. I'm happy I saw that in theater. That was like its own experience. Fucking Black Panther. Was its own experience. I think that there's definitely a place for movie theaters, but at the same time, like, I guess, yeah, I think it's going to be left up to companies, like, because if they're like, hey, it's cheap. Is it cheaper to just stream it? um and then or are they going to force people to go back by saying, oh, are they going to make us wait 3 months to see it on a streaming site? So I don't know. It's a good question though, like what this is going to have to see.
It'd be interesting. Like, is there a certain type of movie or genre that you would typically prefer to see in a movie theater outside of like the big Marvel movies?
Uh,
Or no?
no, it just depends on the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, because it's like I said, man, like it's always. I think my issue is the stuff that I like to do. Like, I really like to do it. So it's like, oh, I'll just like if so let's say I have a show that I'm watching right now. Then I was like, okay, well, when I have free time to watch something, I'll just watch that, and then I'll wait for this movie that I kind of want to see, blah blah blah. I'll just wait for it to get released. Or Redbox. I used to was that the name of it? Redbox? Yeah.
Yep.
I used to do that. So and they would get movies pretty quick. So yeah, I think it's just the movie. If it looks good, or if I keep hearing about it from friends who, we have like similar tastes in that type of movie, then I would go see it. But I was just like, you know. And then I also too, I liked um catching matinees was fun. That was like the one. I've never really been like a eat at a restaurant by myself type person, but look, fucking, I used to when I had a day off. That was one thing I would like go to the movie theater like one. What I'm saying, stop by Chipotle before, and then I would just be in the theater by myself pretty much, and just like having lunch.
How do you sneak a burrito into a movie?
Man, in my hoodie.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they don't.
I was just gonna
Plus,
say that Chipotle kind of packs those things, kind
yeah,
of fat. But yeah.
they didn't care. They didn't, especially that during that time of the day. You got super chill people. Like probably one time I brought the bag and they were just like, ticket please. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't, just
All right, your movies
clean
and
up after
I in
yourself,
theater
please.
7.
Yeah.
I have an idea that I think is $1 million idea, and I think Splash Brothers Luncheon is the perfect place to debut this idea.
You have my attention.
I think the movies. What would you say is the last TV show that you loved, that you watched like when it would come out on that night?
Um, hmm, maybe Ozark, but I mean that's that. Okay, so you're talking about because Ozark they released the whole season at once. You're talking about like a weekly. You're talking about like a Game of Thrones weekly appointment viewing.
Yeah, but we can work with Ozark because
Okay,
now like the streaming services will drop the first 3 or something, and
right.
then after that
Week
it's
to
one a
week.
week.
Yeah.
I think that's what movie theaters should do, because I think that could be kind of fun to go watch your favorite show. Let's say Game of Thrones, like you've been waiting all week to go see it, and if it debuts at 9 on a Sunday, like I think that is a type of thing where those shows are so viral and everyone's talking about them. That to have everyone in one place for that, like I feel like people would pay money to watch a really good TV show at a movie theater, just having that experience around big screen,
Yeah.
good audio experience.
You got to make it worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think because one thing that the pandemic showed was just like how nasty the world is around us. Like, I remember seeing some article about movie theaters, and they were like, "Oh, there's fucking lice and the headrest," and I mean, I'm sure that's not every theater, but it's like if you're gonna theaters, you got to step your game up. Maybe bring those prices down a little bit. Make
Yeah,
sure
that's
it's,
what they got to do.
yeah, being super sanitized. After each viewing, you got to be super, because it's like, why leave my home? You know what I'm saying? Like, you give me a reason. What's the incentive? And like, I miss being around people like that. That's definitely made some, but I mean, at the same time, sometimes other people in movie theaters will make it worse because they're talking, they're being dirty. So it's like yeah, you guys gotta step it up. You gotta have, maybe security or attendance in the theater. Every seat's got to be able to recline. You gotta. I can order from my chair. You bring it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, that's a good call. They would definitely have to make it, like you said, give us some incentive to go there.
Yeah.
But I'm picturing like I've only watched through like the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones, I think.
Okay.
But I know, let's say that Red Wedding episode that I hear about all the time. Imagine something like that in a theater where everyone is reacting at the same time. Like I think that would be pretty lit. But
Yeah,
People would have to be respectful to a certain
right,
extent because shows like you really have to be able to hear everything,
right,
or else you're gonna want to watch it again
right.
if you miss something. So
Mhm. Yeah, I was saying, like, it's kind of, you know, I think one thing the pandemic showed me is like how nice it is to eat a burrito in my drawers while watching, you know, a new episode of, I don't know, whatever. So it's like you gotta beat that experience. So, but yeah, we'll see.
and that experience is undefeated so
Yeah,
far.
absolutely. All right, man. I don't know if you had anything else. I know I'm keeping you over a little bit.
No, we're good. I was gonna ask you, what's your rank of one
Oh,
through three?
Toy Stories.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say, I guess it's sort of like College Dropout. The first Toy Story is always gonna be number one to me, just because the nostalgia, and I mean it's super funny. It's still like I've easily watched Toy Story 1 more than, like, a few times, dozens more than the other two, but it's still funny to me.
yeah.
And it holds up. So I'll say, yeah, number one is number one, and then I put number three as two, and then the second Toy Story is number three. But they're all classics. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably I'd probably just go in the either that or the order that they came out.
Right.
Two and three are interchangeable to me. But yeah, I just like that the humor holds up so well as an
Yeah.
adult. And you definitely see some of the jokes that you missed as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of them, one of the jokes that I wrote down was in the first one where my confusion over the Woody and Bo Peep romance. But at one point, I think she went to go kiss him, and then she told him, "Yeah, maybe I should find a babysitter for tonight or something."
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I wonder, like when I was a kid, what did I even think that meant?
Yeah. Like, what are they're gonna go have some dinner? What
But yeah, there's a lot of funny ass jokes, like, and the slapstick in it
Mhm.
is great. I thought I can't remember if it's one or two, but when they come home from when Woody and oh no, it had to be one.
Mhm.
When Woody and Buzz come home from Pizza Planet and they're at
Mhm.
Sid's,
Mhm.
they're in a backpack with the green alien guy,
Mhm.
and Sid's dog comes up, and Sid's like, "Hey, like Scud, like look what I got for you." Reaches into the bag, pulls out the green alien, and throws that to the dog, and the
Mhm.
dog starts like fucking ragdolling the shit out of that alien. Dude, that was so funny to me. I was cracking up so hard watching that.
And isn't like
So
Woody and Buzz, like they're like 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 yeah.
so many good moments throughout the movies that are, yeah, timeless. No matter how many times you watch them, still going to be funny.
Yeah, fucking the ham, the pig, and uh what's his name?
Potato Head.
Potato Head. They aged the best for me easily.
Yeah.
Like they had me cracking up. Like Mr. Potato Head's such a hater.
Oh man, that dude
And
is
like
grumpy
fucking
as fuck.
instigator, yeah.
If anyone was to lead the charge as in the Woody is actually a villain
Yeah,
thing, it would be
yeah,
Potato Head.
yeah. Be Potato Head for sure, for sure. Yeah, he's been waiting to get Woody out of here.
Rex
He's
is
like,
just a
my
bumbling
call.
idiot.
Yeah,
Um, Slink. Slink's a great character, I think, because I think that he's voiced by like
yeah,
what the hell is the guy who played Ernest? I don't know if you watch those
yeah,
movies. Ernest Goes to Camp.
yeah.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
a
he was
throwback.
voiced by him.
That's something. Yeah,
Um,
Slink was probably he was probably there on January 6th.
you
He's
think
just
so?
It's not his accent. It's not because that's just, I kind of get these vibes from him. I think Slink and Ham, and definitely Buzz was there. Um, but yeah,
100% Buzz, because he's definitely a pull yourself up by your
yeah, he's
bootstraps.
absolutely.
But yeah, I think I agree with your ranking.
What
And
about
anyone who hasn't watched them in a while,
yeah,
you definitely should.
absolutely. What about real quick before we get out of here? Top 5 animated movies. I'll go first if you want a minute.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go Toy Story number 1. I'm just gonna say the franchise. It's not gonna be Toy Story 1 is 1 and then 3 is 4. So say Toy Story, then Shrek. They're neck and neck though, because first Shrek came out when I was in 6th grade, and I remember that's one movie that I had memorized. Like I used to be able to do. It wasn't the whole movie because, hold on, I did have a few friends at that age, but I had like the first, like, okay, all the way up until Shrek and Donkey, when they actually are going out on their mission. I had the dialogue up to them memorized. So I used to like I remember one time in class, I guess it was 5th grade, and I was just like entertaining my friends, just doing the whole like first, what is that, 10 minutes or whatever of dialogue, blah blah blah. Um damn, need some water. But yeah, so Shrek is number 2. I'm gonna put, this is where it gets tough because I know I'm gonna leave out some stuff. So okay, no order. My top 5. I'm gonna say Up is in there. I'm gonna say Monsters Inc. is in there, and I'm gonna say, I think one that I don't hear enough about, and I saw this as I was a little bit older, but so my number 5 is, what is that called? It's like the Little Red Riding Hood, but it has like Anne Hathaway, who I used to have a huge crush on. But that's another episode for another time. But she played Little Red Riding Hood. What the fuck is that movie called? I'm gonna find it. You go. I'm gonna find the name of it. Do it on it. But I love that movie.
Because I don't think I've seen that one. But I went
Hoodwinked.
Oh,
you ever seen
yeah.
Hoodwinked? Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah. Okay. I went Toy Story 1, Space Jam 2, because I feel like gotta get some Looney Tunes in there. Looney Tunes, rather timeless and always funny.
Right.
Rescuers Down Under is one of my favorite Disney movies. Have you seen that?
That doesn't sound familiar.
I'll send it to you. But it's one where it's a bunch of little like wild animals in Australia, and it's actually the sequel. But they're trying to avoid being caught by a poacher or hunter type guy who's fucking evil. But the animals in it are super funny, and there's like a bunch of weird ass, like it's like a lizard. I can't remember what else, but it's a couple of mice are the main characters. And that was
How old is that movie?
It's old. It's no, well, actually not super old. It was late 80s. I want to say it was the first one, and then early 90s was the second one.
Okay.
Ratatouille I had as my 4th one. I think that's a great little movie. And then this is so cliche, but I am a big fan of Aladdin.
Okay. Hey man, it's your list.
So yeah, I would say that's my top 5.
There we go. Did you see the newest Aladdin with Will Smith? If not,
I started it. Okay. I think I got halfway through and I fell asleep, not because I hated it, but it just doesn't feel the same anyways.
Right.
It's weird to have the genie be a human.
Yeah.
An actual human.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just hard for me to like reconcile, I guess.
I got you. I got you. I got you. I wasn't sure where you're going with that. I thought you were gonna say a black man, but it was the way you were going. I don't know, man. That Celtics green in the back, you
You
know,
never know.
yeah, I got to keep one eye open. Nah, but not like it was cool. It just seemed like it seemed like they should have made it more for teenagers. That's like I don't know if that makes sense, but that's like the vibe that I got. Like they should have aged it because everyone was like grown. Aladdin looked like he was like 17. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I don't know if teenagers would have like I'm talking about like I'm talking like 12, 13, 14. I don't know if they would have cared. I don't know if they cared, but yeah. But I mean visually it was, my little girl, she used to watch that all the time. It was cool. But yeah, I'm just wondering.
Did that? So you're saying that they made it still too? They stuck to the like making it for kids too much a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
felt like it
Okay.
was, yeah, like seven, like they tried to make it for like 7, 8 year olds, but maybe it could have been better if they would have, but I don't know. Whatever.
I'll have to watch that again because I did think like the seeing what's the name of the country like Alibaba or whatever.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
Mhm.
Adapting it as like a real life thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that again.
Shit. Do you, real quick, and we'll get out of here after this, but do you remember, did you play Kingdom Hearts?
I didn't. I've
Okay.
like I had plenty of friends who did, so I've like seen the game.
Okay. Okay.
That was all
Good.
Disney based, right?
Yes. Yes. Because they have like Hercules and yeah, all Disney characters. Yeah, because they have Mickey and Donald. But I just remember that for some reason that level they had an Aladdin level and it used to annoy the hell out of me. It just popped in my head. Um, but yeah. All right, man. I don't know if you have anything that you want to say before we get out of here. As always, I appreciate you joining us. Appreciate the listeners. Um, and yeah, for the last word, Mr. Sopee.
Yeah, no, nothing specific. Definitely appreciate you having me on. This is a lot of fun. I love walking down memory lane. I feel like I'm reliving some of this stuff all
Yeah.
over again. But yeah, would recommend anyone who's got Disney Plus. Obviously, they've got all the Disney movies. So,
Mhm.
and I feel like the Toy Stories are only about 90 minutes each,
Yeah.
maybe a little shorter. So you can knock them out pretty quick, and
Yep.
you'll have a good laugh no matter how old you are.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
But yeah,
sir.
man, that's it for me. I appreciate you having me come through.
Yeah, we got to do it again soon. We just find
Yeah.
another topic to talk about. So appreciate y'all.